2022, very early in the year, and a lot of yous will have noticed that Paul Sykes is back in the headlines. Not in the little papers. He's actually made the national headlines today. Daily Star story. The Daily Star know what I know, but not a lot of. Hasn't been gone public yet. But you're seeing the first signs of that guy there. Kind of the film, the documentary's yet to come. So the Daily Star today have done a two piece. So that for me is the start of the Paul Sykes journey, if you like, the PR train. And I know that there's so much to come, and I think when it does come out, when he is at Leicester Square, the red carpet, and there's very incredibly famous people playing the part of Paul Sykes, and maybe the number one 1980s band doing the full soundtrack. I think that's when Sykes will be a household name, because in kind of British true crime, in my opinion, you've got the craze immortalised, the black and white iconic images. They will be about forever, and underneath, then you've got your Lenny McLeans and your Roy Shaws and your Freddie Foremans, and how many films has there been on the Essex Boys and all these kind of criminals, very notable, but maybe not as interesting. I would say anyway, as the Lupsit Lout, the most notorious man Yorkshire has ever produced. I was going to say Wakefield there, but yeah, I think the whole Yorkshire counties as a whole, there'll never be another Paul Sykes. So yeah, I've had a lot of inboxes today saying, "Oh, he's in," and I know one or two have said, "Why is all of a sudden the Daily Star just done this story on Paul Sykes?" I know I just spoke to the Daily Star today, and there's one or two of their staff really fascinated with him, and there's more to come yet to be out there publicly announced. But as the year goes by, 2022 goes along, you're going to see more and more things, and particularly when the film and the documentary. I would have done a documentary on him years ago. There'd have been a couple on him, like I've done with Duffy and another person, but I'm not allowed legally. I'm not allowed because Western Edge, the contracts were signed in 2017. So if anyone's read the Daily Star today, and you're like, that's a bit odd. Paul Sykes is like back in the paper from nowhere. That's the reason why. So, at the minute he's just this unbelievable character that people are curious about. Who's the real guy that went viral talking about punching sharks in the ear? That's kind of what people really know about him. But of course, there's so many layers. I personally think there's no criminal in Britain ever been like him, as interesting anyway. And that's it's going to get more kind of profound as 2022 goes along. So I think by the end of it, certainly when the film comes out and the documentary, I think Paul Sykes will be an absolute massive household name. You see some of the films like Paul Ferris and so many kind of British criminals. Charles Bronson's had a film. You could probably go on, and and you think, well, there's not actually anything on Paul Sykes other than the YouTube, that kind of iconic documentary that come out in December 1990. Yes, Paul Sykes done his book. I done the next three. A couple of others have been done. All six by Warcry Publishing. But other than that, there's not anything. And I come along, and I suppose I put that right. But I think you're going to see, as the months, next couple of years go along, you're going to see a lot more about the most fascinating character I've ever come across and had the pleasure to study. It's not all been nice. but you know, what a guy. Regardless of whether your feelings or emotions towards him, the one whether it was good or completely bad, then the one thing for sure is you know it gets a rise out of you. Whether you're just like wow, you know, I want to sign a photo of him and all this, or whether you think oh what a bastard, you know, he brings that kind of emotions out. And I know one thing: it's going to take one extremely talented actor to portray the role as Paul Sykes, but you're going to see that in the next couple of years. So yeah, just a wee note to say that the reason Paul Sykes is in the national headlines today is because there's a lot more things on its way about that. That what there's no words to describe him, is there? Well, there's lots of words to describe him, but I don't think you can really fulfil what the point you're trying to get across. Um, he's someone that you know. I think it's all been said, but as I said, in the next couple of months and years along, you're going to see more and more and more about that guy, Paul Sykes. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Thank you for your time.